Hi everyone. I don't know about you, but I get called a lot of things that aren't nice by people when I try and tell them about the issues that I talk about here. That sound something like crazy person, nut job, wacko conspiracy theorist, things of that nature. I don't know if that happens to you guys when you try and talk about these things, but I think it's pretty common. And I don't know why that happens. I don't know if it is just something that's propagated through pop culture or if it's just a meme that's spread around, but I think there is a bit of doublethink going on there in when you actually look at what people really think. I think that you have, on one hand, when you mention these ideas, it triggers something in people's mind that says, oh, this person is crazy. They are not saying what I hear on CNN and read in the New York Times and what the government tells me, so they must be crazy. But at the same time, from what I can find out, a lot of people actually feel the same way. So while they can identify with what you're saying on the one hand, it also triggers something in their brain that makes them write you off as a crazy person, even though they might agree with you. And what I want to point out is that a lot of people actually do agree with you. They just might not know it, and they might not realize what you're saying is how they feel. So I wanted to find out where people are going for their news and where that's trending over the last, say, 5 or 10 years. So I looked up on Google Trends, which is a site that Google runs that you can look up what terms are searched for, and it goes back 7 years maybe. So I looked up Fox News and CNN, and as you can see, they are staying about the same over time, going down slightly recently. But I also added in YouTube, because I think that while YouTube is used for a lot of things that aren't news, there's a lot of just random fun kind of stuff on there. People do go there for their news, and they go there to become informed. For instance, blogs like this and blogs with other people in movements like this, and all people of any movement in news and politics from not just America but around the world, of every viewpoint. So I put that in there, and as you can see, YouTube has just blown up over the last few years. It trounces Fox News and CNN, and while YouTube is not mainly news, you can see the influence it has in people's minds throughout the world, much more than CNN and Fox News. So it's not CNN and Fox News that are getting people's attention, it's YouTube. Now, yeah, okay, YouTube, anyone can put anything up. They might just be crazy people, because if you're not on Fox News and CNN, then you must just be the lunatic fringe because you aren't smart enough to be on there. But is that the case? Can't people decide for themselves what is true and what is false? And what is a lie and what is someone trying to lead you to the truth? So you look at videos that come out from the so-called well-informed governing people that want to do what's best for us. And then you have videos from people on this side of whatever you want to call it, news and politics and economics. And people can choose for themselves. And you can see just by the response you get in the comments and in the ratings what people think. They can see the truth. They can see through the lies that come from the mainstream. I was just looking at the YouTube front page today, which I have a screenshot of, and something caught my eye. You have YouTube here where you have in one part this bit they have from the White House, from the healthcare summit, where everyone's getting along and talking about what we're going to do to solve this big problem in our country, and they just want to share it with everyone because they want to be open and transparent, and they want to show you how they can solve all your problems. So you've got that on one hand on the front page, and you can see the ratings there. You can see Nancy Pelosi having 2 stars, which is a pretty low rating if you see a lot of YouTube videos and you realize the ratings that go on. You can see other ones, it's 2.5, 3 stars. Nothing above 3.5 stars, I think, is on there. And then you just can see, this is not a doctored screenshot. This just happens to be just how it was. On my subscriptions, you can see Peter Schiff down there and Alex Jones and a couple bloggers, I think, Fat Libertarians down there, and it's all just 4.5 stars, 5 stars. People like them because they like the truth. They like to be informed, and they like to not be misled, Nancy. They like to know what is actually going on and not just what you want to tell them. Now, this just shows how people can see through the mumbo-jumbo. They can see through your lies, and this whole paradigm that we've had to suffer through for the last 80 years of whoever's on TV and is wearing the fanciest suit and is in the coolest television studio, they're the smartest, and they know what to tell you, and that's what you're supposed to talk about. Now, anyone who can afford a $100 video camera, like me, who otherwise would be a no-talent schlub, can get on the internet and say whatever the hell they want. And people can go to whatever they like and it's their choice, and they can seek truth, or they can go to Nancy Pelosi. And they don't like her, they don't like the Republicans, they don't like the Democrats or Barack Obama. They like the truth. They like to go to wherever they want and wherever they find the truth. And just because I'm wearing a sweatshirt and Nancy Pelosi is in a fancy suit with a fancy podium and she gets on the official White House channel, that doesn't make her any smarter than me or you or the people that comment and rate. Now, a lot of people are realizing that that is the case, that they're not necessarily the smart people in this. They realize that, maybe the big government's not what's up. Republicans and Democrats might not know what's best for me. But what I think people are not realizing is just how widespread that feeling is throughout the population. I think that people are still under the impression that a lot of people still agree with what the government is, and that's what's important, even if in their minds they know it's not true. So what we need to point out to them is that a lot of people agree with you. Most people agree with you. A new poll just came out from CNN, ironically enough, that says that 56% of Americans think the federal government's become so large and powerful that it poses an immediate threat to the rights and freedoms of ordinary citizens. 56% of Americans, people like you and me, people that are informed or uninformed, think that the government is going encroaching on their rights. Another poll that came out recently said that only 21% of people thought the government had the consent of the governed. So people en masse realize the government does not have our consent, they're not looking out for us, they're going to infringe on our rights. And what we need to realize, what everyone really needs to realize, is that everyone else feels the same way. You're not alone. And the people on CNN, they don't know anything more than you know, or anything more than I know, or anything more that anyone else says from any opposing viewpoint. Collect all the viewpoints, find the truth, rate that 5 stars, and send it to someone else. That is how we're going to spread the truth to people. Rate Nancy Pelosi's videos. If you like her, rate them 5 stars. If you don't like her, rate them 1 star. If you don't like me, rate me 1 star. But when it all boils down, it all figures itself out, and the people that tell the truth have 5 stars, and the people on YouTube continue to get more traffic, and CNN and Fox News continue to go down. And the charade that the people on TV and the people with the coolest television studios and that aren't wearing a sweatshirt that just got back from the gym, their jig is up. It's time for the truth to prevail, and people are starting to wake up to that, and it's not going to go on any longer where they don't get to find out what they want. So that's all I got. Thank you for listening. Keep telling people about these numbers because it's very important, because people realize what's going on. They just don't realize that everyone else knows what's going on. Thank you. Have a good night.